They all have the same first skill. They all, I don't know, dude. They all throw bats. It's a little on the nose, but it is what it is. Except for Cadiz. He throws better bats than everyone else. They're just better. They're better bats. They strip. There are two options for second skills, either Noble Agreement or Weaken. Noble Agreement hits twice, has a higher crit rate, and in some circumstances, has a chance to stun. Only one circumstance has a chance to stun. And then Weaken tries to apply attack break, slow, and buff block. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and meet our players. First of all, we're starting with fire. It's Verd, the fire vampire. Verd's got the throwing bats and the Noble Agreement, but his passive is what makes him really shine. If you've played Summoner's War for more than 24 hours, you're very familiar with this guy. Every time he crits, he boosts his whole team's attack bar by 20%, and he hits twice on both skills now, so that's 40% attack bar. He also has an incredibly relevant leader skill of a 28% speed lead in dungeons. He's an incredibly important monster, and that's probably might come through in the rankings. Who knows? Let's just keep going. Liesel is the water one. Liesel actually does a lot on his skill 3. It always crits on fire, it reduces attack bar, it defense breaks, it does more damage the closer they are to getting knocked out. That's 4 things. And it's AoE. If you count that, it's 5 things. That's a lot of things. Argon is the wind vampire, and he's actually gotten some use in Steel Fortress because he has buff block on his second and third skills, and he has debuff scaling damage on his skill 3 that also tries really hard to apply branding. Next up is Julian the light vampire, who is honestly so good right now. He cleanses himself at the start of his turn like Juno, and plus he has like this reverse Huadam thing. Wherever he would die, he instead siphons HP from his remaining allies and doesn't die. He lives. It's alive! Then his skill 2 does crazy damage and has a chance to stun. This is that one scenario that I foreshadowed earlier for Noble Agreement where it does have a chance to stun. Lastly in the lineup, it's Cadiz. Do you like Cadiz?
No! God, please, no!
Do you like Cadiz?
No!
Cadiz is the only one who can strip on skill 1. Plus, every attack applies branding and absorbs the target's attack bar. Cadiz also does this weird thing where he kind of does the best impression available of what absorbing attack bar used to be. We're now in a state of the game where absorbing attack bar only absorbs as much attack bar as they have to lose. But Cadiz has this nice little clause at the end where if the target's attack bar is all the way decreased, he'll gain 20%. He'll just create 20% out of nowhere. I love this theming for a vampire as well because you're siphoning both their life and their attack bar. That's thematic. Let's get on with the rankings. In last place, it's Liesel, and it's not that far off. Honestly, I wouldn't blame you if you put him at 4, but I would blame you if you put him at 3 or higher. The rest are really good. Next is Argon. Argon manages to squeeze past because he has extremely relevant debuffs in buff block and branding. So he can be used in Steel Fortress, raids, etc. Then we have Cadiz, and we do really like Cadiz. I should remind you that the remaining vampires are just incredibly good, so like now that that's out of the way, let's talk about it. Cadiz is a super solid damage option in RTA and anywhere where you need strip, branding, and attack bar reduction. That just sounds amazing. You could probably use that anywhere. He has a tendency to be a little bit divisive, but he's made a name for himself in RTA. So he also works really well with dark speed leads. So if you happen to have like a Han as well, that's great. That's great for you. I'm so happy you have Han. I wish that could be me. Here's where I'd put my Han, if I had one. Number 2, it's Julian the light vampire. Julian is insane right now, and I love what he brings to the table in RTA. What he brings is really, really high damage, but also he makes your opponent approach your team differently than they normally would. Even though the threat assessment is telling them Julian is the danger, you can't always just go straight for Julian. Not unless you have some sort of Oblivion situation. Sorry. It's like you mixed Juno with crazy damage. That's hype as heck. What a great elevator pitch for a monster. And literally the only option left available, Verd, number 1. Name me one place where Verd's not good, besides the Water Rift, and Giants, and the Water Slime. Something that's not water. Basically, so what I'm trying to say, he's just the best. PvE, RTA, guilds, he's your man. He's your vampire, your manpire. He's him, dude. Verd is the GOAT. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Summoner's War. My name is Come to Us Evan, and today we're doing some account reviews and progression tips live. If you're unfamiliar with how this goes, all you got to do is jump in chat channel 10, and I will go through your account via your island, and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability. Let's say hi to folks in chat real quick. See Squishy, Carnegie, what's going on? Michael Reed over on YouTube. Dibinch, how are you? Schlamdow. Sneak Harin, how are you? Trade, what's up, guys? Welcome to the stream, everybody. What a beautiful Wednesday. I got a nice breeze coming in. Nice little chill. It's wonderful. I saw my dad for breakfast this morning before work started. It's honestly been such a nice day. It says, yo from the Philippines, yo from California. My accountant has weird symbols. What is it? Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, because check this out. So if you're in chat channel 10, which I see some people already are, Soul Evans, hello? What the? Dude, is your name Evan too? Dude, one of us is gonna have to change. I don't know if that's gonna be able to be a long time like situation. I think there can only be room for one of us. I think we're gonna have to probably fight to see who gets to hold the name Evan. Hot as heck here in South Carolina. Dude, I'm prepping for that. Honestly, where I live, it tends to be a little bit more like mild, even during our peak season is like probably October. So we've got a little bit of time, which is nice. How to go change Nat 5 in the event. Okay, well let's take a peek real quick. So if you've chosen your Nat 5, I actually chose Shizuka. I have not changed mine. Let it be known. Has anybody changed theirs? So you can hit change. You can change it, right? And then you can go through here and you can change what monster you want. But I will not be engaging in such nefarious activities because I am more than happy with my Shizuka. And I'm going to keep it. Let's see, what have I gotten anything new that you guys aren't aware? I don't think I've gotten anything new. Let me bring this window over here. I'm having to look way too far to the right. Sorry guys, it's a me problem. That's not a you problem. You shouldn't have to deal with that. Elijah, what's going on? Okay, let's get right into it, guys. Let's do this. You guys have listened to me talk about my nice morning long enough. God, look at all these haze. You guys are wonderful. What's up? Hi YouTube, hi Twitch. What's up? Yes? Guys, y'all are awesome. Look at this. Look at this attendance today, guys. Thank you for joining. Oh, stop. Michael Reed said, I got Carlos and never looking back. My boy. Oh, Michael. I love you, dude. Let's go. Okay. Squishy says, hello, Evan. I've been playing casual forever and want to get into competitive. Is there any good team comps I can do? I love this question. This is fun. This is the type of question that I'd love to like open to the chat as well. So like if you guys see something that I don't, you let me know and we'll see what we can do. We'll see what sort of situation. Also, let me know if the stream is like laggy. I'm doing something. I was so dumb. I'm doing something very stupid. Right before I started the stream, I started uploading gameplay and like recordings for an upcoming video. And the upload is still going. And it's probably going to be going for the next 50 seconds. So we'll see what happens. Good. No lag. Amazing. Fastlick says he's got 2 RTA replays for me. I'd love to see those. Okay, so let's look here. I see you. Wow, you have a few monsters that I do not have made, actually. That's pretty interesting. I've been busting out some Josephine recently, and people just don't know what to do about this monster. I think people forget that she auto crits on skill 1 still. Like I run into that a lot where you can just rune this monster on full crit damage. Like no crit rate, all crit damage, and you can just wreck people. It's great. Frigg says, I got Evan. Is he good? Dude, I so wish that I could tell you that Evan, the Dark Steel Commander, is good. But I can't, unfortunately. He is not amazing. He needs better multipliers on that last hit. Truly. Michael's Art Studio says, oh, this was Blackburn on Twitch. A lot happened. A lot of my OP account and restarted with Belinus at the beginning. Coolest monster I've gotten since Rad. That's awesome, dude. Welcome back, Blackburn. Glad to see you, dude. Salve, lindo. Salve, lindão. Ishimit, how are you? Boa tarde, lindo. Okay, so we've only really talked about one monster so far. Josephine's more of a counter pick. I actually find Abellio is more useful in different situations. His passive is in the same vein of death prevention, right? It's not revive, it's death prevention, but it doesn't proc on death either. It procs when someone falls below 40% of their health. And that's, I'm clicked on the wrong skill. That's what that one is. I have seen people use Parjanya, actually. I'm not as familiar with Parjanya's kit. I don't have one. I want one. I do not have one. He revives. I think he's also got some provokes, and he reduces incoming damage. Oh, decreases the incoming damage from the enemy by 25% and 50% if the enemy is provoked. Yeah, so he's kind of a control. He's a control unit, so you could make use of him in RTA. But let's keep looking. Let's see if we have something cool to build around here. You have a lot of like tech, you know? You got Juno, you have Josephine, you've got Abellio. You have a lot of like countermeasures. I'm trying to find something that's going to be like an instigator for the account. So we got John. That's kind of a hint. He can kind of be a bit of a signpost for us, because if you wanted to do something crowd control-y with Parjanya and John, that is an option. Tweety says he is fun. He also does a lot of DPS, referring to Parjanya. Let's see. Oh, I missed a couple things from Mimi says, can you review my account after this one? And if yes, how? Great question. So all you have to do is post your name, or just post your question on chat channel 10. I'm on the global server right now. If we have time, we can jump over to Europe as well. If there's enough interest, would love to go scope that out. And it helps if you tell me what your Twitch or YouTube handle is too, just so that way I know who I'm talking to in chat. And then I will just do my dangdest. I will do the best I can to answer your question. So we've had a couple signposts, like I said, between John and Parjanya. So you have a couple units that could be crowd control. Riley and Jing are both good bruise units. Ashir is a starter. Let me look through here. There's an LD5 for you. Oh, you've got a C-grid. Okay, wait. So I don't know what your rune situation looks like, but I would like to propose something really quick. This is definitely not what you need to do. But I notice you've got C-grid, you've got Dark Robo, you have Ashir, you have a two-way Kali, and then there was something else that kind of stuck out to me too. There is a world where you could build like a snipe or a cleave comp where you go to outspeed. The only issue here is that I actually don't really see a speed lead. I don't really see a solid speed lead yet. So let me just peek back here. Oh, you also have Smicer and the Wind Robo. Hold on. So you could double down. You could like double Robo. Technically, you could run C-Grid with this too. Double Robo, Ashir, C-Grid, and then like your Kali. The only thing is that if Kali gets banned or killed, you're kind of lacking a little bit of damage at the end there. You could also throw in Amber if you were so inclined. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to gather these kind of scattered damage elements and put them into a team. If you wanted to go for something a little more reserved, you could do something that's like Smicer with Jing. This is kind of wind heavy. Abellio for this, right? So you could go something like Abellio, Smicer, something that's going to outlast the enemy, Parjanya, stuff like that. I think that might be the best way. And then the last two slots are for counter picks. So if you see an opportunity to pick Juno on Runed on Despair Revenge, you do so. If you see an opportunity to pick Josephine, you could do that. I think that's probably the route you're going to want to take, Riley. I think Bruise is going to be safer at this time for this account, but there is a world where you could do like a cleave comp that features double Robo, C-Grid, two-way Kali, Ashir, and you'd probably want a speed lead, maybe to replace C-Grid or something like that, but the attack buff's kind of sick. Okay, let's jump back out and see what we can do. TOA normal, says Isleia. Are you guys able to hear all that, the jackhammering or chainsawing that they're doing outside? Because there is some heavy machinery being used, probably like 50 feet from my house. Oh, okay. You're welcome, Squishy. Nope, just your beautiful voice. Thank you, Kanagi. That's really nice. Let's see how deep you've got. Oh my god, is that a Yanhong? My done diggity dog. That's crazy. Congratulations on that. Wait, TOA normal. Maybe this wasn't your question after all, because it says that you've cleared TOA normal. I'm stuck due to putting my farm teams together. I'm trying to get better at RTA and Siege content if you could give a tip. That sounds... Not going to lie, I blew through it with my core... Oh, I think they were helping someone. So I'm stuck due to putting my farm teams together and trying to get better at RTA and Siege content if you could give tips. So, just so I can clarify, do you need help with the farm teams or do you need help with the RTA? Zidoris, no way, dude. Welcome. What's going on, man? Good to see you. No, he was answering me, lol, about the TOA normal. Roger that. How do I get access to account review? Oh, you need help with RTA Siege. There you are. Perfect. Got a cracked rune on my ult yesterday. Drop the stats. Have you guys seen what I'm dealing with today? Look at this. Look at this thing. It's held aloft by dark magic. I've done everything in my power to try to stop it, and there's nothing I can do. I've just, honestly, guys, it's kind of like one of those moments in life where you just got to learn to let go. You know, that's kind of just the thing. You just got to learn that you don't have control over every aspect of your life. And I think that this is a small but suitable example of it. So I've just let go, and I've accepted that I've got that. Elijah says, can you rate my Juno? I'd love to rate your Juno. RTA and Siege. Let's talk it. Let's do it. Everyone got that one spot in the hair. Yeah, they do. It's our cross to bear. It's our burden. Can you check the chat? I'm Luck, and I have nothing, but I would like some advice to pick a monster in the selective event to support my DWM. I would love to try to help you if I can. Is DWM Dark Weapon Master? Is that max? Or what is it? That was just the first thing that I like connected in my head. That was from Really Tired on YouTube. And dude, same. Really tired. Cat Pacino. Well, if it isn't the owner of like the coolest name I've ever seen. Cat Pacino. I love that name. Yes, Clock Shield, I would love to try to help you improve your dungeon themes. That'd be really fun. Wait, did Zadorus drop his stats? I missed it. Hold on. Stand by. Let me check real quick. Did Zadorus drop stats? Oh, you shared it in the channel. Okay, cool. Thank you. Cappuccino. Okay, let's talk RTA teams real quick before I get too off topic. By the way, I love that you have this built. I don't know why this keeps coming up recently, but I actually always keep an Elucia runed on Violent Revenge just in case I see an Artemiel. I don't know why, but like this unit is, even though she's not what you'd call like meta, she just handles that one situation so well that I like to keep one runed up. I've also used her against ragdolls and stuff to great effect. I think she's actually really good. She's got, you know, hard crowd control on 2 skills, and then she's got a heal cleanse. Like, how could you not? It's also technically a little attack bar boost, which I frankly forget about all the time. Okay, so let's look at key units. Water, we've got Nana, we've got Manon as well, at least out. You've got Antares, thank the Lord. Thank God. we got Carnal. 29 ungrinded, 34 speed. Heavens to Betsy, dude. I haven't gotten a quad roll speed in a second. I got a trip roll speed yesterday, and that made me feel pretty good. I really liked that, actually. That was great for my mental health. We got Chung Pang. Oh, people are liking this unit, by the way. Guys, do you like this? Do you guys dig this unit? I've been using him in a weird, like, living through my friend vicariously. My friend Michael, who also edits the YouTube videos. He is a super talented dude, and he's been playing a lot of Summoners War recently, and legitimately killing it. Like, the dude's doing great, and he got this, and this I think was his first Nat 5. And from like a new player perspective, because that's how I'm kind of getting to see him played, it's a cool unit because I don't think I quite realized how valuable something that says you auto crit is to a new player, because that means you automatically get to ignore crit rate, and crit rate is kind of notoriously a bit of a problematic stat. It's a little hard to get, you know, it's a little frivolous, right? Because you need speed, you need tank, you need crit damage. Of course, you can't skimp on attack and defense, you know, and you got to add on crit rate on top of that. And this guy just lets you ignore that. A little too OP, actually, people are saying. Awesome. So maybe we could utilize him. OP on offense, on defense, we already figured out how to deal with it. He is nice into siege offenses. Okay, great. So that's good to know. We can remember to bring him on the siege offenses. You have a Yonhong we can leverage in RTA, by the way. I think you should be picking this if you're not already. Dude, I'm telling you guys, I want the base speed for Mi Yang buffed. I want the water Sky Dancer to have this same base speed, and I think she could be a free-to-play Yonhong. I think that'd be so sick. Maybe that's a little bit too silly, but you know, that's just me. Look at that. Imagine this, but with 116 base speed. How crazy would that be? So you have a strip here. People really liked the Dark Siri. So we could do something where if you wanted, you could like set up a cleave, set up a snipe, something like that. Or just, oh, is this a Layla? You have a Layla just chilling back here, dude. You have a lot of good units back here that are not built. And a cigar? What the heck, dude? Hold on. Hold on. And this. Oh, I got this from my scrolls too, guys. Did anybody? I got Ileana from my scrolls. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. This unit plus Yanhong, actually. Wait. Does this go well with Yanhong, guys? This actually seems like she would be a good pairing for Yanhong because they both have turn cycling. This fills up your attack bar. And then she also fills up your attack bar and reduces cooldown times, if I'm not is that true? No, she removes harmful effects. I'm thinking of somebody, but she removes, I'm thinking of Eleanoa, but she removes harmful effects and boosts attack bar. Plus she's got invincibility and immunity on skill 3. I think this could actually be a pretty solid pairing with Yanhong. Okay, hold on. So let's talk like a Bruise style for a second. Let's do Yanhong. We could do Ileana, but you don't have her built. You have Cigar. I think you leverage Yanhong, you pick Chung Peng, you pick Carnal, maybe. Like, that's a control comp right there. And then what you could also do is, on top of that, if you see an opportunity to pick a Kinky, you can. If you want to bring a Gapsu, you can. For the true damage, right? But I think a Cigar and a Layla works really well into that comp. Yeah, I would do that. I'd bring a Cigar or a Layla. The only thing you're going to have to be mindful when thinking about this is not to overpick one element because you can really get like bullied for bringing too much. Oh, guys, I think I just got kicked out of the game. I did. I'm sorry. I encountered the glitch that only I'm encountering. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do while I'm booting the game back up again, I'm going to tell you guys to use Command Festival if you're on Twitch. Command Festival, hold May 18th and 19th on your calendar. It's the very first ever 2-day event in Summoners War history. We're going to have the finals for the Americas Summit on the 18th, and then we're going to have a meetup on the 19th. It's going to be a really fun time. Make sure to register for it. Again, the command for that is Command Festival if you're on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, it's actually in the description. If you don't see it in the description, you can just reload the stream because I actually put it in there after we went live. Okay, we're coming back. Thank you for that, guys. Who should I get to partner with my Narsha? That's a good question. That's a very fun question, X-Chris. Wait, I got scrolls? Hold, please. Dude, I think the game wants to give me something. Come on. Come on, game. Give it to me. All right. My mistake. The game did not want to give me anything. That was I misinterpreted the signs. I'm back in chat channel 10. So I apologize if you want answers, you'll have to share again. Fastlix with the arena replay. Oh, and there's a relevant Ileana. Oh no, it's Ileana. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's an Ileana and a Shizuka in here, so that means that they're getting invincibility in the pool. Let's just check this out really quick, especially because I've got Ileana kind of on the brain right now since I just got her. Yeah, this is not a great time to see. So the problem is that now Haegang's going to go and strip everything. Oh, he missed! Uh-oh. I love that this team has Ongyuki on it. I think that's... Fastlix has like a new LD toy all the time. The Sups. What's going on, dude? Says, hello, Evan. Long time no see. Dylan Brewer says, Evan, can you help me build a team around Lucifer? Dude, a lot of times, Leo and Lucifer go really, really well together. So I don't know if that in and of itself is kind of a bit of a combo. I think that I know that's like the go-to combo for Lucifer. But yeah, we can take a look at that as well. What else we got here? Hold on. I pulled like six wins sideways. That's hilarious. Oh, this is a good question from Repyro. Hey, Evan, quick question for you. I'm a current free-to-play player and have been since I started in 2020. My rune situation isn't the best. It takes me 2 minutes on average to clear Giant's Abyss. Hard. Where do I go from here? Dude, we should try to lower that time. I think we could probably do that just with what depending on, I mean, if you've been playing for 4 years, I'm sure you have the units that you need to kind of do it. I could teach you like ways to reduce it. The answer might be to make it a little less safe. I think sometimes people have a tendency to keep their team safe for too long. So in order here, let me see after this replay. Let me see if I can find Luck, because I know Luck was helping. Oh, dude, from here, I think Monkey and Diana take this to go, dude. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. This is just brutal. Oh, and it's over. I just want to see if he gets a torrent. He does get a torrent. Yeah, we stay for the torrent. And we'll let Diana finish him up. Boom. Thank you for sharing, Fastlix. Okay, so let me see. Where is Luck real quick? Because Luck was trying... Luck, hey, I have nothing, but can you help me? Let's do this, and then I'd love to see if I could help with those teams. It was the Dark Weapon Master. Zadoris just dropped a good tip, too, in Twitch chat that I'd like to highlight as well. This is in relation to how to improve your farming comps. He says you should also put some of your best runes on the team you're farming, and then you can always switch them off for other things. That is something that a lot of players do. What they'll do is they'll farm one dungeon for like a month. You know, and this isn't for me. I'm sure this isn't necessarily for everybody, but if you have a limited rune pool, it's something you may want to think about. They'll put their best runes on the team for like giants for a month, and then they'll swap over to dragons, and then they'll do necro, and they'll just kind of bounce around like that on a month-to-month basis. So like, and Zadoris just said with fast times, your account will skyrocket. So there you go. Okay, so wait, you're level 17 and you have a Maximilian? You've been playing for 9 days. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Good googly moogly. A dude did level 1 just with Maximilian. I love it. Oh my god. Congratulations on the max. That's insane, dude. That's such a crazy pull. Really Tired says, I'm trash. You're not trash. And you're fine. In fact, this is a crazy pull. So here's what I'm gonna do. So unfortunately, there's nothing pulled out right now except for the Maximilian. That's all I'm able to see because nothing's on the island. So let me just kind of give you some general tips for things to like aim for, because Giants is definitely the place that you want to be. Your main like long-term goal should be to get I notice you don't have the fusion hexagram yet. You should do as many, if you haven't completed scenarios, go through the scenarios, try to get the fusion hexagram. And within the fusion hexagram, you're going to see a bunch of monsters that you're like able to create. And the main ingredient for them is just time, really. Like nowadays with how easy it is to get the monsters required for fusion, it's just a little bit of time. You should aim for Veramos, the Dark Ifrit. And you can build up some of the units that you get at the beginning of the game. You know, like I think you could build up a Shannon. On the weekends, you should try to get Crow, the Dark Inugami. You can get these units from chat channel 1050 in what's called secret dungeons. I don't know if you've encountered a secret dungeon yet. Secret dungeons are discovered by people in chat and just by farming, and they can share them with people. They can share them, and then once they're shared, you can go in them. The reward for these secret dungeons are pieces of a monster, and once you run the dungeon enough, you can just summon the monster. Just like that. It's basically a free monster that you can just find by browsing through chat channels. And you can ask people if they've happened to find one. So you're going to want to look for the Dark Inugami and look for Lauren the Light Cowgirl. Those will help you in the beginning, and make sure to build up the Light Fairy Queen that you got from the Summoner's Way quest line. Start there, and if you have any specific questions too, I'd love to help you out with those. If you have like anything that's confusing to you, I know runes can be confusing. I know, that's probably the biggest obstacle for new players for sure. Not much of a secret now. Evan just shouting out people's business. It's insane for some of the people on there. Evan, I need you to make fun of all my runes because I'm a hoarder. That's hilarious. Don't you get Oh, you do get Crow for free now. You're right. They added that in the Summoner's Way questline. Thank you for the reminder, Leonard. That's from Leonard7806 on Twitch. I completely forgot about that, actually. They added him in. God bless him. That's a really nice move. So Clock Shield is Swably. Swably, Evan, help me with the dungeon teams and units to use in RTA. I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit, but we started off with RTA, so I'm trying to do a couple. I'd love to do a couple dungeon questions real quick. So Swably once helps with dungeons. Dude, this looks really solid. So wait a minute. Let's see what's going on here. What number is that? I can't read that. Dragons is 116. If that's still your current Dragons team, by the way, I think you might be able to get further by putting Verd as your leader. He's usually used as the leader for that. that 28% speed lead is insanely valuable, right? Obviously. I don't know if this is your current... maybe it's just got your best time. Can't two-shot the boss for some reason. Oh, with this top team, you can't two-shot the boss? Honestly, with this time, with this average, it should be okay, unless it's failing. Because this is the same team that I use, except I don't use Luna. I actually use Shaman, the light Griffin in that. But this is the same team that I use for Giants. With this one, I would just say if it's succeeding, then you should be good. Elijah is also suggesting Verd lead and change Rauk for Spectra. Let's go in and double check then. Oops, I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Let's go see, because something must be amiss. If we're talking about the Giants team, I'd rather focus on the Dragons team, if I'm being honest. But like, let's talk this really fast. Okay, so you got your Teshar. Does Teshar need more? Okay. Is this on fight? So that could be what the case is, by the way. It might be a case that this should be on fight. Let me check where's the Kona? I don't see the Kona Mia. Ideally, Kona Mia and Prilea would be on fight sets. That might be where the problem's coming in. Like, just 3 sets of fight. And to get those, you could always do, like, a little bit of... I think you could get those from Spiritual Realm. You could just do some Spiritual Realm dives and then runs, rather, and you'll get those. Oh, there's Kona. Sorry. Kona's on 2 fight sets and an energy set. Thank you. So if we bump this up, or you can buy the fight runes from the infinite. Come to us, Panda. Nice suggestion. You can also buy fight runes from the infinite shop. Nicely done, dude. Nice. I really like that suggestion, actually. And then let me just check this guy. Nice. This is actually looking good. His crit rate is more than enough for this, considering you're using the crit rate lead here, and you get the bonus from the elemental advantage. Pineapple pizza. Love it. And then there's just Luna. Could also be... Well, Luna's getting the bonus, so Luna's okay. Crit damage might be a little low. I think that might be it. Honestly, I think you could get pretty far by just doing, like, a fight set here, 3 fight sets here. I keep getting flats from there, lol. Says Clock Shield. It might take some time. It might take a little time, but, you know, you can also make some... you can make some caveats. Like, these guys don't necessarily need, like speaking plainly, right? They're not really going to get hit that often, right? Like, if the team is working as intended, they don't necessarily need, like, all the HP, all the attack, all the crit damage in the world. You don't necessarily need it to be super coherent. What you need is the speed tuning to be right for this team to work, you know? That's kind of what happens. With Prilea, you need accuracy, right? So that's the only thing, is that you need a little bit of accuracy. So that's the main thing you just gotta get for Prilea, but otherwise it doesn't necessarily need to be super coherent stats. Let me just check your Verd real quick. So that looks like that's the problem. So Verd definitely... Let's talk Dragons just for a quick second. Now that we've addressed the Giants in the room, let's talk about Verd. So Verd, I'd love to see a couple changes for Verd. One would be he needs to have 100% crit rate. Like, just straight up needs to have 100%. If you can get him to 98... I want 100, but 98, just get 100 would be great. Let's see if we can get... Oh, Verd's runes aren't fully equipped. Okay, so with that said, let's try to get him on, like, Rage, maybe? What is this? Is this crit rate? So here's the thing, though. I don't think he would have 100% crit rate necessarily. Well, we'll see. We could do Fatal's okay. Rage is great. 100% crit damage would be stellar, and like 40 something speed, you know, slowest on the team, so you get the most out of the 40%. And then for your Dragons team too, a second Awakened Spectra would go really far. Oh, nice. I like this. I like the crit rate. I like the crit damage. He's a little bit slow and not very tanky, though. Like, we could do HP here. We could totally do some HP here instead. Yeah, I'd love to switch over to EU later. We could totally do that. And there was something else that I wanted to talk about for this Dragons team as well. This is a little too slow, I think, because once Verd is fully equipped, right? Well, actually, you could get your, because I think once Verd is fully equipped, he might move ahead of the Sigmaris just by accident. So just double check that Verd is the last one to move. And then a two-way Spectra would go great here. Oh, no, there's no speed on him. No. Let's do... I love attack, crit damage, attack. That's great. But you could also do either attack, crit damage, HP, or speed, crit damage, HP on here. You could keep it the way it is, but we're going to have to find some more speed in the substats. And let me tell you the reason why, because I actually do see this for, like, quite a bit of people. They don't quite understand, like, what speed you need to be at. And the reason why I usually say about 42-ish additional speed is, like, as low as you want to go is because you want certain monsters to move, like, towards the end, right? Like, it makes sense for Crow to be on the slower side. You want somebody to move ahead of him so that they can put defense break on the boss. And then you want Crow to follow up to do huge damage. You want him to be the last to move on the team or somewhere close to the last one on the team to move for some, in a lot of situations, but you don't want him to be slow because if he's below a certain threshold, the boss is going to cut in ahead of him and just and nuke him. Now, with that said, if we're utilizing him for dragons, I would recommend checking out the Dragon's Abyss starter guide too, because that's got the turn order in there. And so that's going to change a few things. Okay. Zentraverse says, I can't get my Giants team consistent enough. Any tips? Let's go in there and take a look. Oh, Mango Lover. Can I get help with TOA and Giants? Yes. So guys, I'm going to do a Giants one right now. If you guys have Giants related questions, it'd be a really good time to ask them in chat too, just while we're like in the neighborhood. Because after this, I'll probably jump to a different like just topic for a second because we've talked about Giants a couple times already. So let's do this. So, oh, this is like a fun little hybrid between like a speed team and like a starter team. Let me just see this. So is this inconsistent? I don't know who's in here. What's up, Dudano? I like the individual units of this team. Let's just make sure things are squeaky clean. So when you're using Teshar, you'll want to make sure that your defense break goes first. You want to make sure your defense break goes first, and you also want your Teshar to move semi-close to the start of your team, just so that way it's fast. Arturo says, hey, what's up, man? Love your content. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. There's so many people here with a lot of discussion today. I just dropped the survey in chat, too, for folks. If you're on YouTube, you can use that to fill out the survey. We give out 75 crystals to a random number of people equal to the max viewership we get, so it's a good way to get a few crystals. How's my cowlick? Oh, it's still there. Would you look at that? That's crazy. Oh no, I made it worse. Dudano, you made an alt on global? How's it going? How's the alt doing? Let me just look around. Oh, you have a Liam hidden back there. That's pretty sick. It's pretty sick nasty. And we've got the Water Geralt that you're using right now, too. The Water Geralt. I'm glad you have a lot of attack on him, too, because actually, these aren't the default runes. It looks, or are they? Did you swap any of this out? Oh, Dextro, I know. Unfortunately, Seppi left the company a while ago. But, like, hey, you know what? Occasionally, he still comes by for, like, for SWC or, like, he's involved in the Americas Summit. He was just in the monthly trial. I miss him, too. Always do. Do you have an account on Europe? I do, so I can bounce over there in a little bit. You know, Mango Lover, you know what helps with that hair being stuck in the air? Going bald. That's so funny. I'm doing man. No, Lauren hurts a lot. Yeah, you can get her with time, though. That'll happen. Okay, so this is 175. Okay, got the Teshar. You want the Teshar to move kind of close to the start of the team so that way you can wipe the beginning waves. Oh, you're also building a Praelia. Wait, this is really good. You can actually transition fully over to the speed team. I don't necessarily know if you should refine the current one at all. I would just go for, like, triple fight on both of these units, right? Like, if you could find one more fight rune right here and this intangible could kind of round it out. You could jump straight to the speed team. Utilizing this, too? It's not fully built yet, but that's okay. That'll come with time. Yeah, I think you should just jump straight over to the speed team, dude. Though let's look really quick. I think part of the reason why it isn't super consistent might have something to do with the fact that a Kamamir is pretty slow. And when I say that the speed tuning matters, I think for the sake of using Water Geralt, I think you might actually want Water Geralt to move ahead of Teshar. Correct me if I'm wrong. The reason why I'm suggesting that, guys, is because he has AoE defense break on skill 2. So what you could potentially do with that is you could set up AoE death break on people, then Teshar can move in, guaranteed kill everybody. Like, that's kind of the way you want to do it. Alternatively, I think you were using Galleon. If you're still using Galleon, you can go Galleon first, then Teshar, then Water Geralt. I think that's probably what you'd want to do. But truly, I would recommend, since you've got the pieces, just jump straight to the speed team. Use Teshar, use Prilea, Konamiya, like both of those last two on triple fight, and I think you'll be okay. It looks like I might have to restart the game again, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Quality of life update. Allow us to visit islands while using repeat battle. Dude, please. Do you have any idea how much I could farm? I would love that. That would, very selfishly, I would love for that to happen. Could you help me get my Giants team below 1 minute? That's from Dextro. What is your team currently? You could try to use this one that we were just talking about. It does need Teshar. Unless, do folks have an alternative for Teshar out there? I have one, so I admittedly didn't do a ton of digging for that, because so I'm just using good old Teshi. Try to build up Gina to put her somewhere. Someone earlier was asking about Trial of Ascension. Gina, the Dark Mystic Witch, is actually really solid for TOA. You can run her with Sath, the Fire Grim Reaper, and you can get extra mileage out of those dots. Sorry, guys. Let me get back into chat channel 10. That's an error that, like, I really only encounter on these streams. If I had to hazard a guess, I think the game would be, like, holding on to some of the data that's, like, left when I'm visiting islands, and ultimately it just builds and builds and builds until it just kind of fails to come back. I'm a little confused on what to focus on with my progression now. Any tips? Yeah, let's talk. Let's see what's going on. So you've already done TOA normal, TOA hard. You've started on TOA hell. You haven't dipped into World Arena. You've done a little arena. Your Giants team is looking good at just about a minute, which is solid. You're using a starter team variant. That's awesome. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. And then you've got your Dragons at 117. You're using Airgar. You're using Airgar here. Interesting. That's kind of cool. Yeah, if Airgar is working for you, you should keep using him. I don't know if I would mess. The only thing that I'd probably mess with out of these would be to tell you to probably see if you can run Abigail as your leader instead of Fran for the Abyss, just to get that attack lead, and you might be surprised at how fast it moves. And then instead of Fran, you could actually run Airgar, or you could also try to put your Crow in there. That would probably be my suggestion. You could do Abigail, Crow, Ikaru, Rauk, and Shaman. I keep wanting to call him Spectra today. I wonder what's going on with that. Not a pro, but personally just simple speed tuning helped my NB hard Abyss. Yeah, Polly on YouTube said that, and that's actually usually the truth for people. Honestly, if you can get the speed tuning right for Necro, you'll be golden. And the speed tuning that you'd want for what I just illustrated, by the way, would be Abigail first to get all 8 of those hits, right? Because you want her to break the shield. I'm still suggesting you actually take Fran out in theory, and then you'd have Ikaru go, then like Rauk, then Crow and Shaman. That's the idea, right? That's the reason. And the purpose for that is because you're kind of moving in the order of, like, break the shield. Ikaru technically does, like, the lowest amount of damage. Rauk is a last-minute attempt to break the shield if something went wrong. Then you've got Crow, who does big damage, but he puts on the brand. And then Shaman capitalizes on the defense break that's already there and the brand. That's the logic behind that turn order. So the question, though, was what to focus on. I think that you could probably jump into some RTA, start figuring out what you want to do with all these runes you're farming, because it's clear that you're getting some good results. These are solid teams. Like, this looks pretty good. If this is working for you, then you just got to figure out where you want to put those runes to use. I talk about this every so often, but like Summoner's War has a few like endgame choices, and you can do all three. You can go for like hyper efficient PvE teams, you can go for guilds, you can go for RTA, and you don't have to limit yourself to just one. I would personally see what you got going on for RTA. You know, like I think that's probably the thing to focus on next. After you make just a couple of efficiency changes for like Necro and stuff, I think you could speed it up even further. And it might actually make it more consistent. Sometimes people keep their teams too safe for too long. You know what I mean? Like eventually there comes a day where you're going to want to remove like the Fran, or you'll want to remove the Shannon, something like that. Because essentially, dude, if the boss is dead, it can't kill you. It can't hurt you if it's dead. Oh, Mango Lover on Twitch. Can I get help with TOA and Giants? Let's start with TOA because we've talked about a lot about Giants. Let's see. Floor 81 of TOA. Dude, if you've cleared TOA 80, you could probably clear the whole thing. Chat, I don't know. Do you guys agree? I think 80 is probably the hardest floor. I think once you do 80, you can get through the whole thing. Nice. I like this team, but it sketches me out that it's for Abyss, because with both Fran and Lauren, like I think this team is gonna get hit pretty hard. I'm sure that the Wind Homunculus can probably like clear it out for you, but like without a Veramos to ditch the defense break, like, well, I guess Fran can give the immunity for it. It's just a lot of multi-hits. Michael says that Zyros Acroma is the hardest. Yeah, especially with the control units. Okay. You've got good team. You've got a good idea of what you need to do here. The only thing for the Abyss, I've talked about this in the past. There's too many multi-hits, so you'll proc that counterattack too quickly, and the boss might be able to just take out your entire team by accident. If you throw in a Veramos instead of a Sigmaris, he can cleanse off the defense break and also contribute to damage. Though, if you're not in a state where you can move to like a speed team, you could even take out Lauren and Fran and do Belladon and Shannon instead. And I find that that's really helpful for like starting teams. Let's go in and see what you have for Trial of Ascension, because I totally said we were going to focus on Trial of Ascension, and then I started talking about Giants. I don't know. That's my bad. Okay, let's do this. Well, you have a Leica as well. It's been a while since I've suggested a Leica for a Giants team. Oh, cool. You actually have some good stuff back here. A Zeratu? What the heck? What the heck is this doing back here? Trying to hide this back here. Which selective summon should I get? Should I partner with Narsha? Guys, okay, so I've seen Chris on YouTube asking this question today, and just really quickly, like, what do you guys think is a Nat 5 that would pair well? An elemental Nat 5 that would pair well with Narsha, the light beast rider? Personally, like, my first thought is something like the Adriana, the water pudding princess, would pair kind of well with that, because she gives attack buff, speed buff, and immunity. So you could do something like that where you just nuke a unit right out the gate. You could also do Kanagi says, I always say Shizuka or Chungpung. I'd agree. If you're trying to focus on like RTA, Shizuka's really good. If you have Shizuka, you could do Chungpung. Chungpung's setup and follow up. That's why we like him. How about Dark Weapon Master? Who would partner with that? Good partners for the Dark Weapon Master are like starters. So, you know, even though it's not a Nat 5, like the Wind and Dark Robo are really good with Maximilian. Kind of a similar thing too, though. Adriana, or a Bastet. You want something to start, give attack buff, boost attack bar, or give a speed buff. Like that's kind of what you want to look for. Okay. So now that I've had a look through this account for a second, let's talk about TOA options. I don't know if this is what you're already using, but technically, so like you've got the Dark Homunculus. Presumably, if you go with the version that increases enemy cooldown times and decreases yours, she could be on the team. You could use Gina for AoE control and dots. You could use Sath for even more dots. So you've got dot damage here, extra dots here, increased cooldown time and cooldown time reduction here so you can do it again. You can also use Chungpung for pushback. Bear in mind, if you're doing all this AoE, the units probably aren't going to stay asleep. Gina does put them to sleep. You're going to be waking them up if you go with this version. I really love using Rauk on dungeon team, or not dungeon team, excuse me, Trial of Ascension teams, because this second skill reduces cooldown times, because pulling them counts as a turn. So you're reducing cooldown times here and with the Dark Homunculus. Another option would be Melia. Melia is still great in Trial of Ascension, so you could do like Sath, Melia, Gina, 2A Rauk, and the Dark Homunculus, or you could do something that also incorporates like Chungpung, just so they stay reduced. The one thing I will warn you about reducing attack bars, though, is that it can kind of get a little bit of annoying when units don't get to their turn to take the dot damage. So maybe don't bring too much attack bar reduction, because otherwise they'll just never die. But that would be my suggestion for a lot of the way up on TOA. If you don't want to go the dot route... Oh, you also have dots here, by the way, in Belinus. If you don't want to use dots, though, you can go with like Sigmaris for the AoE freeze. You could do Verd for attack bar push. You could do Fran for heal and attack buff. Lauren and Rauk. That's a team. You could also do Sig and Lapis ruined on Despair, plus 2A Rauk, plus Verd, and one more. All of those are good TOA teams. Oh, am I encountering this again? Dude, I don't know what's going on with my Summoner's War right now, but I'm going in and out. Maybe this is a sign that I should swap to EU for a bit. Thoughts? Hands up in chat. Do you guys want me to go to EU right now, or should I do a few more on global? Tell me in chat, few more on global or go to EU? I'm seeing EU. EU, yes. Oh, sorry. It's restarting. Can you help me on global first? Few more global. Yes. EU, global. Please do EU, global. Okay. Let's go to EU for a second, and then I could even jump back over to global after we do a couple. I was wondering if there's any alternatives to Ergar and the Punisher's Abyss Hard. I'm running Verd, Rauk, Crow, and Ikaru with Fran, and it's not working. You know what, Gab? So the reason why that might not be it's probably not the only reason, but like one of the reasons why it's not working is that Fran pushes attack bar back on skill 1, and the Punisher's Crypt boss is a little bit like not user-friendly like that. Whenever you try to push enemies back, you'll instead give it a turn. Right? So you want to avoid attack bar pushback as best you can. So instead of Fran, you could... Does anybody have... I mean, you could do a tanky Joltan, the Dark Werewolf. You could also do... Oh, sorry, guys. Hold on one second. I'm just opening this back up. Okay, I'm now on the EU server. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Chat channel 10 is the place to be, because the game is 10 years old. Is that Dark Chimera good? Yeah, I would say so. Hey, Blue Exorcist. I actually just watched all 3 seasons of that. That's crazy. Can you judge my progress? I've been playing 2 weeks on this account. Oops. Let me take a look. You're welcome. Oh, Dark Werewolf. Oh, Light Rakshasa actually would be really cool, Gab. You should try that. You should actually totally try the Light Rakshasa. That's so hard for me to say. Oh, Schlamdow. Schlamdow was saying what happened to Katie. Katie's no longer with the company. I actually just texted her this morning. Just to see what's up. Okay, so judging 2 weeks of progress. Anytime, Gab. Tell me how Pan goes, the Light Rakshasa. Tell me how she goes. I didn't have her. I actually still don't have her, I think. I was gonna get her. I'm gonna get her from Hall of Heroes, and then I might build her for it. But yeah, I didn't have one, so I wasn't able to like really recommend her. But she seems dope. I like her. Although I would recommend getting Ergar eventually. Ergar is like totally worth it now. Okay, so you've been playing for 2 weeks, 13 days. I'm interested to know if this is your first account or not. Oh my god. What the heck? 13 days and you're doing Abyss hard on all of these, and you've gotten to 9. Oh, dude, you could totally do Abyss on Spiritual Realm, by the way. If you were to take out the Spectra and throw in a Seek, the Fire Hellhound. I know, Schlamdal. I know. Me too. I miss her. I truly, truly miss her. But I try to keep up with her. So I text her and make sure she's doing okay and stuff and see how she's up, what she's up to. So instead of Spectra, I'd recommend running Seek, the Fire Hellhound. He's one of the first units that you get in the game. And he is really good here. I put him on Violent, but like what's really important is that he's fast, and ultimately you just want him to be there at the beginning so you can get attack buff and crit rate buff. And the crit rate buff is really what you need here, because if you don't crit, you're gonna kind of lose in this dungeon. But I gotta say, dude, that for 13 days, let me go on your island real quick. But I have to say, for 13 days, I think this might be a 10 out of 10. I feel like this might be a 10 out of 10 account. Like, in terms of progress, 13 days. Oh, there's a Lin here, too. That's cool. You're building a Verd. Or actually, you have another Verd, rather. Dude. Oh, my God. You already have an Ikaru with the stats to pull all 3? What? Dude, this is... This is crazy. Wow. How do you have this many rage runes, dude? How do you have this many rage runes? Oh my goodness. My dude. Yeah, this is crazy. This is 10 out of 10 progression. This is for 13 days. 13 days played. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, that's an insane amount of progression. Like, clearly you know what you're doing. Like, I don't know. This makes me think that this is your at least your second account. Like, you have to have experience. Otherwise, you've just done like crazy homework. Like, I don't know how you did it, but great job. That's amazing. Truly 10 out of 10 progression. Blue Exorcist says, hi, YouTube. Is it possible to help with the speed GB team? GB Hell team. Yeah, let me help. Let me see what's going on. I wish I could show you mine right now. 50 seconds. I think we talked about how it's like, it's really helpful to have the Konamiya and the Prylia on 3 sets of fight. It just helps round out your stats. You might already have that. Okay, good. You do. So turn order, right, is like Prylia first, then Teshar. Oh, the Teshar is pretty slow. Well, 114, yeah. You may want to just double check the turn order. Oh, good morning, Maui Grown. Can you check my brother's EU account? His name is Lucky. It's in the chat. Okay, I'll take a look at that. And Discord Lux has an account with money. If that's in reference to the 13-day account, I actually don't think so. That was all like free-to-play unit. Like, it's totally viable to get those units, especially right now. Like, it's totally easily doable to get the units. I mean, having that mindset, knowing what you need, like in terms of all the rage sets, how to prioritize ruining them, like that speaks to either experience or homework. But the rest, I mean, we're in the middle of the 10th anniversary event that gives like 200 10th anniversary scrolls. So like, to me, it's totally believable that you could get all that like free to play. Like, truly, even this actually, right? Like, even this, you get one of these nat 5s from like the choose one out of the 10, and then you get another from like the selected summons, and then you can get a few more from like the 200 scrolls. Like, you know, it's definitely doable. Okay, so again, I just want to reiterate the speed tuning is really important. Prylia needs to move first to put defense break. Then you'll want Teshar to move. Then after that, you'll probably want Konamiya, so he goes again. Shaman, I'm not sure if Shaman is too slow. 23, 25. I think these guys are probably getting cut by the boss. They might be getting cut by the boss. It's a little hard to tell. But I think it might be a speed thing. Oh, you're not using Shaman. You're actually using... Luna's even slower. Oh, dear. Yeah, so that might be the issue. I think these guys might be a little too slow. And I'm sure we could find a spot. Like, look at this. There's an accuracy. There's accuracy right here. The accuracy, the flat defense, HP. HP isn't, like, super, super helpful. Especially if you're using the Wind Homunculus. You don't really care if the whole team dies because the Homunculus will come back and finish the job for you. So I think it might have something to do with just the amount of speed on some of those monsters. Let's check Lucky. Where was the Lucky that... Oh, you played 9 years ago. Whoa, there we go. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I really appreciate you asking. That was cool to see your progress. He doesn't play anymore. I don't know what to do on this. Let me take a look. Okay, so you've come into So my lips are sealed. You've come into ownership of something. I'll pretend I didn't read that. Whoa, Light Puppeteer. Liam. Nani, the thing. This account is kind of stacked. Okay, but it hasn't done too much, but it's got a lot of units on it. So unfortunately, there's not much out. The one thing that I'll tell you to do is, even though these units are like really shiny and cool, especially the fact you've got an LD5 and you have a Liam, don't forget about all the free-to-play units that are going to build the foundation of your teams. Like, truly, in a lot of situations, the free-to-play units are probably the ones that are like the most efficient in most categories. Now, with that said, you have a Liam. And Liam is part of some extremely efficient speed teams, especially for, like, dragons. So, since I don't see a lot of the other units, I don't have a lot of this, I would say that the components for this team and how to build it would probably be best found on Reddit or on YouTube. I think there's a few guides for how to build it on there. You should check that out, because not a lot of people have the components for that team, and Liam is probably the most important one to get. I think that's why he even made an appearance on that selected summon Nat 5 event. In fact, let's go, just for the sake of the conversation, real quick, Nat 5 selective summon event, let's just go check the graph, because Liam was on it at the beginning. I don't know if he's still on it, so let's check this graph. There he is. There's Liam. 2.8%. It's not a huge percentage, but he is represented. Teshar's pushed his way. Let's check the top here now, too. So he's still getting chosen by returning to. And then we've got Teshar and Leo at the top. Like, these speed teams are getting really popular. And that's great that you already have some of it. Okay. Frig69. What Nat 5 do I choose? Poseidon, Brandia, Layla, Amelia, or Dominic? It's from the Choose a Nat 5 from 10. Poseidon, Brandia, Layla, Amelia, or Dominic? Poseidon, Brandia, Layla, Amelia, Dominic. Okay, I'm going to try to remember that. Poseidon, Amelia, I'm trying my best to remember while we go in and look. Stand by. I know people are loving Layla. Dude, I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be Amelia. I don't think it's gonna be. I think that like Poseidon is great for arena offense teams too. I use him in my Galleon, my Tiana cleave. Basically, well, Cocky cleave, right? But it's Galleon, Tiana, Poseidon, Cocky. Like, that's my comp. If you were so inclined, you could also do that. You could also... Oh, you've got this, too. Man, I want to Gyo. She seems so cool. Michael's got one of those, too. Hey, Evan, I chose Teshar for my selective Nat 5, but I've always wanted more. Should I change? Colton, like, the real answer is kind of, like, if you really want a unit and you'll think you'll have a lot of fun with it, you should pick the one you'll think you'll have the most fun with. The only argument towards keeping Teshar that I'd say is that Teshar is an investment in the rune quality of your account in general, you know? More is a great payoff. So more is like a great first pick. He's relevant in RTA. He's a good speed lead. You can use him in arena as well. Like, he's a good payoff. He's where you put the quality of your runes that you farm. But Teshar, By picking that and going towards a speed team, you are generally increasing like the floor of your rune quality, right? Because you're farming so much giants. You'll be able to like burn through giants like crazy. You'll also improve your water slime floor. You can improve secret dungeons, water slime. Technically, you can use them in Hall of Heroes farming too. And also like starting speed teams for like Trial of Ascension. So that's what you want to keep in mind. That's it. But ultimately, I would go with whatever makes you the happiest. There are always going to be substitutes for like PvE comps. So it's like if you wanted to not use Teshar for your Giants team, you can instead just do a free-to-play option that's around a minute. You don't have to do like a 44-second one. You could do something that's a minute and then just do it 30 times. I know that's kind of like half an answer, but sometimes it like, you know, I figure just presenting an argument in both directions can kind of help, right? So I am leaning towards either Poseidon or Dominic. If you have any interest in like RTA, you could do Dom. Dom pairs really well with things like Miles Raccoony, Riley. You also have Carlos. I sometimes pick Dom Carlos into games, you know? You can rune it so that Riley moves ahead of the Dom to give attack buff, and then Dom just destroys somebody. If you're doing something more control-y, I would recommend doing Layla. Like, signposts for that are like Tomoe. Considering that you have this in there, I think that Layla could be more considered. I know that wasn't the best phrase sentence that I've had all day, but you know what? We're trying. So if you find yourself wanting to pick something that's kind of like Wind Robo into Chung Pung, into Tomoe, you may want to think about doing Layla. So I would narrow down the choice to Layla, Poseidon, or Dominic. Layla or Dominic for depending on what kind of style you like to play in RTA. Layla if you like a control comp, Dom if you like a bruiser comp, Poseidon if you want to work on your arena offense. I think that's what I would probably say. Okay, let's keep looking here. Could you please look at my dungeon teams? I can still choose a Nat 5. Let's take a peek. Yeah, if this is consistent, then you're doing great. That's the main thing to keep in mind. I don't think Fran and Lauren can really be truly consistent unless... please correct me if I'm wrong on that. The reason I'm saying that is because there are a lot of multi-hits on this team. Between Crow team-upping, if he pulls a Lauren or he pulls Fran, you're going to rack up 7 hits for the counterattack really fast. So I would say to kind of reevaluate this Giants team a little bit, take out the Fran, take out the Lauren, or take out just one or the other, and then add in Bella Dion as a single target defense breaker, or Shannon. That's what I would do. If you're just doing a starter team before you're getting into like the kind of like complexities of a speed team. And Carnegie's kind of in agreement there. Let me jump. I kind of lacked on chat for a second. Yeah, Joseph, I'll jump back onto global in a second here. I'm trying my best to kind of alternate. For dragons, I think this actually looks pretty good. You just want to make sure the speed tuning's right. You want to make sure that your Lauren moves, then your Spectra, your Veramos, your Lyn, and then your Verd. That's all you want to make sure. Again, that speed tuning again is Lauren first, then your 3 damage dealers of Spectra, Lyn, and Veramos, and then Verd at the end. And for the Necro, it doesn't look like it's really... something about that might not be working right. Oh, dude, my door is looking like it wants to slam. Don't you dare. Okay, it stopped. Let me just make sure... Sorry, I just want to make sure it doesn't slam. Oh, Chris, you know what? I was thinking like Adriana or a starter. That's what if you don't have like a Bastet or an Adriana, I would do something to begin the game. So what's cool about Adriana is that she gives an attack buff and a speed buff, and Narsha's damage scales off speed. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think that could be pretty cool. Also, Adriana has actually a pretty high win rate right now. I think it's 52% or something. I'm getting that from SW Arena. Like, I think high data, I think she's got like a 52% win rate, which is pretty high. It's pretty high, especially when you take into account, like, you know, I think Oliver has, I could be forgetting, but I think Oliver has like a 50% or a 51%, and then like Moore is like a 49 or something. I'll have to double check that. But I remember specifically Adriana had a 52. And I was like, oh, that's not bad. Slightly more than average. We like slightly more than average. Yujiro, what's going on? Is Adriana the water pure vanilla? Yes, she is. Adriana is the water pure vanilla cookie. Also the water pudding princess. I've been using her. I've been having her in my core comp right now. I've been doing Vanessa, Etna, Adriana. That's how I start the game, and then I pick some damage afterwards to like capitalize on it, like Masha or Masha, Dominic, Miles, something like that. Something that can hopefully proc and kill something. Okay. Timo says, Evan, please check my runes. Dude, these Dragon Knights are looking pretty lit. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I like these teams. I just want to reiterate something too about the dungeon teams, guys. Like, don't fret so much about the time. Like, truly, we're kind of in an age of the game where consistency is king. So if you can do a times 30 run, and if it doesn't fail, or it fails once, you know, ideally you want no fails. But like, if it fails once, if it's doing well out of 30, like, I think you're doing pretty well for yourself. You don't need to stress too much. There's always room for improvement, and that's like the most fun to me. I love improving my dungeon teams. But like, you know, I think like a 1, 2, 3, like a 1 minute 20-second Giants team, it's like, yeah, we can work on making it faster, but there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with having that. You can still farm it. Oh my god, dude, look at this. Wow, 100% crit rate on this ragdoll. These are great stats on this ragdoll. He's just a little light on the defense. What the heck? You could probably, I would maybe just do like one of the, I mean, I don't want to give up all this HP, but I think you could probably just do like a little defense in the artifacts or something like that. Are there any wasted stats in here? Like this resistance could technically be defense or something maybe. See, this res could also be defense. You don't have enough res to really want to protect. Oh, 30. Yeah, you don't really want to protect all that anyway. I think he's just a little light on that, but otherwise this looks amazing. You clearly love this unit a lot, you know? It's, dude, I hope you're doing like Gapsu, Ragdoll, Talasha, Leo, like comps. Like that's so brutal. How sick, dude. This is great. I know you were asking me to review your runes, but I like your runes. I like your runes. I like your monsters. I like the comps you have available. Like, these are all very synergistic monsters. Like, truly. You know? Like, you've got the Ragdoll works so well. You've built monsters appropriately. And you got the Gapsu, too. Yeah, very well done. Very sick, Timo. Thank you for sharing. Oh, my goodness. And the Rat Master needs help with dragons. Let's see what's going on with the Rat Master. Needs help with dragons. Oh, guys. Guys, hold. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is my parents' new puppy. Isn't he cute? Dude, he's so cute. He's such a good boy. Sorry. I saw the rat and I wanted to share that. He's so cute. Oh my goodness. His name is Jace, like Jace the Mind Sculptor. He came with that name though. It just so happens to be Jace. 10 out of 10. Dude, he's such a sweetie. Yeah, he is an Australian Shepherd. I think there's some Bernedoodle in there too, actually. I think he is actually like a little Bernedoodle. But okay, so going back into it. Thank you for indulging me on that. I saw the rat profile picture and it made me want to like share my pet. You know, that's my new brother. Literally, he's only been here for 6 days. He's only been here for six days. He is such a sweetheart too. He already knows his name. He knows how to sit. He knows how to lay down. He's such a good boy. I love that dog already. Okay, so back to it. Jace the Mind Sculptor mentioned. Frenudo says liking the video just because of how cute Jace is. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. So you're using the Liam comp. Okay. So I don't have Liam. Now, with that in mind, what I would recommend you doing is, because these can kind of be a little bit complicated. If you want to do the speed team variant with Liam, I would recommend jumping over to Reddit, or after the stream, look up a couple videos on it, because it's a pretty well documented speed team, and unfortunately, I'm not the best resource for explaining how to do it. I'm personally trying to like build the Kyle team in the background. That's something that I'm kind of like working towards, but I don't have the Liam to make it work right now. So for now, I'll say that like, if you're leaning all the way into the speed team, do it. If not, you might need to choose one direction or the other. If it's inconsistent, it might be the fact that you're not using the Verd lead. You might be banking too much on Liam's damage, and the rest of the team isn't properly set up to support it. So the easy thing to do right now is just make Verd your lead, take out the lead, or you could even leave the Liam and just make sure that the speed tuning is correct, right? Like Lauren first, then everybody else. That might be something to do. So that is unfortunately, so for the Rat Master, I'm so sorry to send you over to another platform, but I would say to just check out some videos on guides for that speed team, see if you can do it, and start making moves towards it instead, because having Liam is definitely like the hard part, right? Sorry guys, a little fly just landed on my microphone. Oh, no code today, sir. Try using command new survey. Says, I'm cheery in chat. Can you give me some advice for arena offense and siege? Okay, let's talk arena offense. Let's do this. We haven't talked about arena offense today. Y'all, I'm having so much fun, by the way. Thank you all for coming today. This is really cool. I really appreciate you guys being here and ready to talk and like have fun. Like it definitely is the highlight of my Wednesday. So, oh, look at this. It's the Kyle team featuring Liam. Look at this. This is exactly what people, this is one of the ways that people are building it. So you've got the Konamiya and the Tion to both give the boost with the attack buff. This is exactly what we were just talking about. I'm sorry. So we were talking about arena offense. How funny is this? We were literally just talking about this team, and here it is. So what are you currently using for your arena offense? That's my question. I would love to know what you're currently using. Colton says, hey, Evan, I'm calling it that we'll be getting a new two-way at the end of the 10th anniversary season. That's from Colton over on YouTube. So what monster family would you hypothetically be saying that we get a two-way for? Are you thinking like the Battle Mammoths or something that was like called out in that the Gwent card? I'm using Tiana, Galleon, Pung, and Zyros. Oh, sick. Tiana, Galleon, Pung, and Zyros. That's honestly really good. If you need an alternate for that, we can let's see what we can figure out. Hellhounds. Oh, dude, if the Hellhounds got an update, that'd be real. Serpents, dude, please. So Squishy, you just like tapped into something for me. I think that the Serpents are definitely like one of those units that just like they are just right there from being like usable. Like imagine if like the light one, I actually see a world where the light one could kind of be like Meiho Wang, like getting the stacks. Because I remember as a new player playing Trial of Ascension and losing to the Light Serpent and being so frustrated about it. Also Mantura, dude, Mantura used to be the GOAT for Trial of Ascension. Defense break, dots, slow, like the dude's amazing. So it'd be really cool to see him Second Awaken and pair well with like Sath or something like that. And then folks with like the Light Triss could have another unit to play with too. So that's something to think about. I see Leon and Konagi were both saying, or actually I think so we're seeing, oh, two-way a Second Awaken, and then Harpies would be cool. Harpies would be really neat. I would like to see something that's currently being used on a dungeon team. So like Harpies or like Hellhounds. This is currently Europe server. Oh, 2A is Second Awaken. 2A is Second Awaken. Oh, Penguin Knights. If we got 2A Penguin Knights, that'd be crazy. Like, Mav would legitimately be Ganymede. Like, he would basically become Ganny. So, I don't really see too much of a problem with your general arena offense. I actually think, like, your cleave comp that you got going on there is probably suitable. Chat, if you guys see something that maybe I'm not seeing, like, if I'm like, kind of just... if I'm not seeing something, you let me know. I'm like, I think maybe, because I think that's pretty lit, to be honest. I think, is this a light Siri? Dude. Congratulations. That was like my most wanted one. Charger Sharks. Stoic. What's going on, man? Welcome to the stream, dude. It's good to see you. We're talking about arena offense options right now. And so right now they're doing a Tiana Galleon cleave with Pungbake and Zyros. And I think that's good for a majority of it. It's just when you need to tech something, right? Like when you need to like do some sort of tech to get around like specific comps. Like that's when you bust out like Leo, etc. Leo and company. Could you review my beginner account? I wrote very much at the top in channel 10. Second request. Doc John. Yes, I'll jump over there and see what I can do. Does anybody... thank you so much, Evan. Glad I prompted the cutest. I'm doing the Kyle team, just farming rage. Heck yeah. Thank you. Liked for Chase. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you. Hello guys, I do the stream survey, sir. Help me when will I get reward? So the crystals are sent out at a later time. They'll probably be sent out later today. So just keep an eye out on those. Thank you. And just keep in mind too, they are sent out to a number of people equal to the max viewership we get. So that's just to try to prevent people from sharing the survey, because sharing it around to people who aren't here, you know, will inflate the numbers and it'll guarantee less. So just keep that in mind. Stoic with a great suggestion here. Bruiser offense for arena can be Leo, Feng Yan, Water Totem, and Tetra or Triana. Oh, that's I really like that suggestion. Let me just double check that. They do have a Feng Yan here. They also have the Triana. Did they have the Water Totemist for the defense buff? Oh my gosh, they do. The Aaliyah. That's a really good suggestion. I love that, actually. Thank you, Stoic. Oh, Stoic. Ah. I was showing everybody my parents' new dog. Look at this. Look at how cute. Look at how cute he is. His name's Jace. He's so cute. I love this little guy. Check my Leah. I would love to see the Leah. When will Doggo appear on stream? He might be. How old is he? He's only 14 weeks old. He's really young. So just a few months and change. I promised somebody. Where is Doc? I think someone said that they requested something with that. I'm kind of skipping around today, looking at different topics. You know, I'm trying to stay in different areas. Let's do. Evan, is this global or Europe server? Dark King, this is a Europe server. Latch says, does anybody know how to redeem a code on iOS? For iOS, you can find links. They're the links for it, the with Hive links. That's how you interact with that on iOS. Mr. Seek says, greetings, Evan. Could you help me out with a Masha? Specifically the runes for her. Oh, level 45. So let me just see real quick. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, so the one thing I'll tell you about this, congratulations on Masha. The only thing is I would say maybe focus on building a few other units first, because Masha is predominantly for like PvP. That doesn't necessarily mean you can't build her. She is amazing. I love my Masha, and you will also love your Masha. You're going to want her to be on Violent. A lot of people do Violent Nemesis. I am one of those people. Do I wish that it was Violent Will? Maybe, but but I don't mind Vionem. She needs quite a few different stats. You'll probably want speed, you want crit rate, you want crit damage. Those are your main stats to prioritize. And she wants it. She's what we call stat hungry. I wouldn't build her yet though. I don't think I would. I would save her for when you're ready to do some PvP. Same with Etna. I think Etna and Masha are gonna be great for when you go and do some PvP later on. Right now, I would suggest that you second awaken your Crow. I think that would be a great thing to focus on. And then after that, you can start looking into other options. Real quick, guys. So I promised folks on Global that I'd bounce back over. We've been over here for a little while. I'm just kind of ping-ponging back and forth between Europe and Global. Oh. And also, guys, I'm so sorry, too, if I don't get to you. I know there's a lot of people here. If I don't make it to your account, I really, truly hope that some of these tips that I've given today can kind of, like, make their way over to helping your situation on your account as well. And I do try to do these things pretty often, usually on Wednesdays. Usually on Wednesdays, I'll try to do them. So if you don't get reviewed today, come back, and I'd love to help. I'm back in chat channel 10 on Global, so let me know. Can the account of mine be reviewed? Uwo-san? Uwo-san? Oh my god, look at the dude, Bella. Ah, I love monsters that attack additionally. It's like it's one of my favorite mechanics in the game. Between that and team up, 45 seconds, 45 seconds, 57 seconds. Yeah, this is looking. You've got speed teams everywhere. What is your what's your rank? You're C2 in RTA right now. You're doing so well, honestly. Oh, but you're not doing Abyss hard? You're just doing normal? We should try to push you up to Abyss hard. Schlamdow, Evan, when you go back to Global, my best friend, TSO, she has a 2-star only account and has some really cool dungeon teams. Would you check it out? I would love to. I think this account is probably an 8 out of 10. It would go higher for me if this was an Abyss hard team. And also, I think you could probably make it to C3. I'm not docking any points for that, though. I'm not docking any points for that. I would just say there's always room for improvement. So I am actually back on Global now. 2 stars only. I was told to ask you to look at my teams. Hold on. Let's see this. This is a treat. So 2-star only teams. Hold on a second. That's kind of crazy. 1 minute and 42 seconds. This is a respectable time. Oh, but yeah, I bet Dragons is really hard. Look at that. 4 minutes and 56 seconds. 2-star only. Stop. No, wait. Oh my gosh. 5 minutes and 39 seconds for the normal spiritual realm team. Heavens, dude. You sure you can't just like sneak a Verd in there? You know, just one Verd. Like, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. This is really cool. Wait, how much of TOA? You've done 100 floors of normal, 70 of hard. This account will never run out of energy. Dude, legitimately, like, I have no excuses anymore. Like, this, viewing this, also, 28 seconds on Reigns. What the heck? What the heck, dude? Okay, hold on. Let me go on to the account real quick. I want to look a little deeper at the situation. Yeah, like let's take a peek at the situation, you know? I want to see where the damage comes from. So your KC has 227% crit damage. Kaneki says, "All right, bet. Time for me to do slimes only." I love that the 2As are like fully skilled up too. Do you see that? Like, that's so fun. I mean, why not, right? It takes a lot of farming. 100% crit rate on the Roid. Super tanky. So this is the primary. There was a period of time where I was using Casey. Summon shooting stars that attack. Dude, maybe I should second awaken this thing. This is pretty cool. Oh, so it does more damage against the same target. So you can use this against bosses, and it'll deal more and more damage. That is really cool. Wait, I have one more question for 2 stars only. I have, like, one more question. Stand by. I just wanted to check. Where are the second awaken rune dungeons? Oh, so the dimension dungeons don't really have full teams for them. It's predominantly just the Alunia one that you're running. And only level 1. I would love to see, like, that's kind of sick. Ink says, I would like to know what to modify, and I've been playing for a year. Sure, let's look around. One Piece fan? Fellow One Piece fan? Hello? So I think, again, for a lot of folks out there, one key thing that I'd like to kind of communicate to people trying to improve their Giants team is to take out Fran and Lauren once you're in the Abyss section. And the reason for that, and I kind of go into this into the free-to-play starter guide for the Giants Abyss hard. The reason is that now when you proc the counterattack of the Giant after you hit him 7 times, instead of just hitting one unit, he hits every unit, and that is devastating. So you'd like to reduce the number of multi-hits on your team down to as few as humanly possible. So that means taking out Fran, taking out Lauren. If you need to run one of them, it's not the end of the world, but running both of them can sometimes be a death sentence for the team. So instead, I'd recommend running Bella, Dion, and Shannon for a starter team. And then maybe even instead of Naomi, I'd run another max HP damage scaler, because Veramos is really solid. He has good scaling on that second skill. Like, he can do a ton of damage if he's runed on Rage. Naomi, slightly less so. So I would maybe replace her with a Kamamir or like with the Water Geralt. I'd see you have the Water Geralt in there too. You could use him instead. For dragons, I think the main thing you could benefit from is Verd. Like, Verd lead here is going to change the game for you. You can still use the Water Geralt if you want, but I would do Verd, Veramos, Crow, Second Awaken Spectra, Lauren. Like, boom. That's the way to go right now. You just got the Dark Indra. Is he good? Oh my god, dude, congratulations on the Dark Indra. He is good. He does a lot of provokes, if I remember correctly. I think people called him like the second coming of Gurkha. I think that's kind of what they referred to him as. I've been playing for just over a month. Can you help me with Siege content teams given my account mons? I'm Nalini in chat, says the creative. I would love to try. I'm coming up on time for the stream here in a second. And again, I want to remind you guys, if I don't get to you, please, I'm so sorry. There's a lot more people in here than I do have time to review, but I do try to do these things more than once. So that's what I would recommend changing up for those dungeon teams. I'm going to see if I can do a couple more just like rapid fire real quick. Nate the Grape, I need tips for RTA. RTA and Siege offense, technically. Okay. I see a couple good units for Bruise, by the way, already. Chandra's for the speed lead, Camilla, Josephine is tech, Parjanya. Dude, I think this account is kind of built for Bruise. Leica's a good last pick for this as well. Stand by. Oh, Zima. Zima nut. Sorry. Oh, I love that monster, dude. That whole family's names are so funny. Oh my goodness. What the heck is this, dude? Okay, that's kind of sick. Can we use this for 3 turns? Can we use this, guys? Has a stun, attacks all enemies to stun, gain immunity. It doesn't strip, but maybe it doesn't need to, you know? Like, maybe we could run something else. Like, if you wanted to, you could do something like Wind Robo, Hegang, the Dark Angels, and then follow up. So, okay, so there's a world where you can go, like, really aggressive and do that as, like, a core, plus, like, something to follow up. I don't see a ton of AoE damage. Like, you could do a control cleave with Varad. You could do Varad and then, like, really anything else after that. You do have two-way Kali there, but I'd rather AoE. If we're going to be doing that, I'd prefer AoE damage. Savannah could work there. Cigar could work there. He's not really damaged, but I think I'd probably go Savannah there instead to give you like another round of combat. Or you go with Bruise. You have stellar Bruiser options, like truly stellar Bruiser options. A lot of them are water, but like Camilla, you know, Chandra, like I talked about, Parjanya too. Miles I just saw. I totally skipped over Miles before. You have Leo if you need it. Dominic. Like, these are all really good Bruise options too. I want to use this. It's a weird piece of tech, right? You know, it's a lot of control. I like the filling up an ally's attack bar and also like defense breaking. Like, this thing seems this seems like a pain for people to deal with. Like, I kind of dig this, but long cooldown times. Very long cooldown. So I'm not super sure about this, but that seems dope. That seems kind of sick. So maybe we think about using that one instead. Guys, I'm so sorry, but I am unfortunately at time for the stream today. Thank you all for hanging out. Like, truly, I mean it when I say that this makes my Wednesday. I really appreciate you guys for coming by and hanging out with me, just talking Summoners War and having a good time. Before I go, I want to tell everybody in chat on Twitch to stay here for a second because we're going to raid somebody when I end stream. Make sure to use Command Festival before you go, too. And if you're on YouTube, you can check the description for that. May 18th and 19th. Those are the 2 dates to remember. It's the America's Summit Finals and then the Summoners Festival. That's the first time we've ever had a 2-day event ever. So if you can make it, try to make it. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to be there. A whole bunch of other folks will be there. Stoic's going to be there. Seppi will be there too. It's going to be a great time. And then we've also got Once in Love, tons more. Folks it's a good one to go to, like if you can make it to an event. And then I think I had another announcement, but I can't remember it right now. So instead, I'm just going to forget about it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Stay in chat because we're going to raid somebody. Bye, guys. I wanted to talk about is Spectra, specifically Second Awakened Spectra, who's the Fire Griffin. You can use Spectra in Dragons. I've seen people force Spectra in Giants. You can use them in TOA or, frankly, anywhere that you need max HP scaling damage. The slow and attack bar pushback is also very valuable. Next, Vertihile the Fire Vampire. Thank John come to us. This dude is fusible now. When I started playing the game, Verd was not fusible. I got him through summoning stones, which are now exclusive summons. It'd be easier to talk about where Verd can't be used, to be honest. Like, you can rune him on Triple Revenge or Swift in RTA, you can use him in TOA, any initialism in the game, you can use him. He's also a staple in Dragons. He was already important and experienced a surge in popularity when the Trick Room team was at its peak. And today, he is